God or something like that. But on paper and considering what's written here and what you profess, it just makes sense. And I don't think if it's followed properly, if you truly understand what's written, I think you can carry out some good way of behaving.
What are your thoughts? Is that your...
I haven't really thought as much.
Okay, not as deeply.
Yeah.
But no, I like to think about it just because it's something and it's worth discussing.
What are your beliefs at the moment? You said you believe in God, or you're not quite?
No, at the moment I think I think agnostic.
There's something, but you're not sure quite. That's
but even if it's something, I don't know if it's something created by an intelligent being or essence or something, or is just trial and error or just casuality.
So if God was created, surely we would need to worship the one who created God.
That's not the problem. The infinite recurrence of who created who created.
Yeah.
It goes.
So surely he must be uncreated. The fact that we're here. He's not dependent upon anything else.
The fact that we are here. That's definitely a good question. But from what I know or experience, I wouldn't be able to say, oh no, we are created by God, or we are a total casuality. I feel that...
What seems more plausible in your mind? That everything is just random, haphazardly, just put in the right place?
I think...
Or there is some design behind this?
I'm not trying to insult anyone.
No, but speak openly,
No, I think there's a chance that it can be random. I think so. Like, in my logic, I think it could be a random thing. For example, when you shuffle, when you have a deck of cards, a brand new deck of cards is in order, no?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Ace, spades, clubs.
Yeah.
And then you shuffle.
Mm-hmm. And you pick out the right order every single time.
No, I'm saying when you shuffle, of course, will be
yes.
not as the original thing.
I get the
but if you shuffle and shuffle and shuffle, and a lot of people are shuffling for a long time, maybe one day you end up with the same order.
Sure.
Which is
a very simplistic.
I don't want to make
analogy,
it simplistic, but
it is. But I get your point.
For an example,
there's a possibility. There's
it's a possibility.
As slim as it is, you're willing to put your faith in that.
I'm not putting my faith in that. I'm just not sure if it makes more sense that there's a intelligent being that created everything, or if it's a sign of, because let's say that I put myself the question, okay, there is an intelligent being.
Sure.
At this point, this same intelligent being, I imagine that somewhere else in the universe there may be another intelligent life form.
Yeah.
But if they came down to the same kind of but writings and rules and teachings, then I would say, okay, maybe that's. But
your example of the deck of cards. I mean, for example, say you're in a barren land, a desert or something like this. Okay, where there's no one around.
Yeah.
You walk in and you see an electronic device.
Yeah.
Okay, a mobile phone or a smartwatch or something like this.
I know where you're going.
Okay.
But yes.
What would come to your mind that, of course, someone created this, or through millions of years and billions of years of the lightning hitting the earth, we have sand which became the silica for the glass, and there was a tornado, and all these things came together haphazardly, and we have an iPhone.
Yeah.
Okay. What would your heart and mind accept? That someone must have created this because it has intricacies within the device, and it has functionality.
The fact that I don't see the factory of the phone makes me think, okay, no, this was created by design.
Yeah, of course.
That I understand.
Now ask yourself, what is far more complex? Just from a complexity angle, you have this device which was man-made, okay? And then you look within ourselves as human beings. And
we are very complex.
Of course, even the megapixels in your eye are far more then that camera
Superior
lens,
than yeah.
and everything else. Even you go down to the cellular level, and you go to the mitochondria, and all these things which are designed for that purpose. To say, and you're not willing to accept, and as a reasonable human being, that phone could have repeated itself, okay, through natural, elements.
Yeah.
But we haphazardly came into existence.
I know what you mean.
So that standard has to be across the board.
But also we need to understand that we are very complex with a lot of defects. We are not perfect at all, and we have cons and pros.
This is now questioning the designer.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Even the universe, and you see that the distance we are from the sun is just the right distance to allow life to exist.
But that
and many other things
is a sign of casuality. In my eyes, it's more probable that in the solar system we have a lot of planets. We are placed in a point where life can exist.
It's accidental.
I think without.
Don't worry about offense. We speak quite openly here. It's not a problem. No, relax. Honestly, wait, speak on. But just like I said, that thunderstorm couldn't have produced that phone for us. But this solar system was created haphazardly. Do you see the double standard here? Do you see the?
I see the double standard.
The almost bias it. So I would say hold that same
but bear in mind also that we are natural, an iPhone is artificial. They have two different natures.
But the angle from the design angle, the design argument essentially, the principle is the same. The design has a design, a building has a builder, painting has a. It's just very simplistic, Sorry, did you say something? No, so I thought I heard maybe he's speaking. Yeah. So just from that angle, we need to be almost with ourselves consistent and sincere as well. That if ask yourself, why am I willing to accept it in one instance, but willing to deny it in another instance, where it may lead me to believe in a creator, where it may lead me to believe in someone who has the authority to govern my life. Okay, for the better, no doubt. The things which we are told in the Quran and many other religious scriptures are for our betterment. It's not as a society.
Yes.
It's not. If we were to disobey all of this, we will not harm the creator in any way. It will only to our own demise. Okay. So following that guidance is for our benefit. The first question. I think did you give man red? I'd like to give you this book here because you're asking really good questions. The Man in the Red Underpants. Okay.
Do I have read? No, not today.
Yeah, maybe you might have in your cupboard. But The Man in the Red Underpants. Okay.
Yes.
This will sort of the sort of discussion I've been having. This comes from that sort of angle.
Okay.
Just to ask some questions, maybe provide some answers, and then from there, then would be in Islam. We don't dictate what you should or shouldn't believe. We say reason and logic and use the minds which God has given you.
I also read that says study and increase your knowledge.
Exactly.
Which is it's a very good thing to do. In general.
The first verse in the Quran that was revealed was Iqra, which means read. Okay, so seeking knowledge is incumbent upon every human being. Okay, so when it comes to religion, for example, unfortunately, we tend to disengage our minds. And I find, with all due respect, for many people who deny the existence of a creator, is an emotional decision, not a rational, logical decision. It's an emotional decision, and that emotion is, well, if God exists, why do so many terrible things happen in the world?
That's another.
So these are all emotional arguments. Okay, I will say, use the rationale and logic that we have in your mind to first. Clear up all of the biases and all these things, and say, let me just go with the facts of the matter. Okay, and probabilities and speculations, they won't really lead you to an answer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Jazakallahu khair for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying this video and benefiting from it. Something that's come to our attention, what we've noticed is nearly 90% of our viewers are not subscribed to this channel. We want to make you guys aware that One True Message Foundation is completely non-for-profit. We are a non-profit organization, and subsequently we've turned off all advertising on YouTube. What we need you guys to do is share the khair with us, subscribe, like, and share this video to anybody else that you think may benefit. A small action, but we want you guys to share the reward and help spread the one true message. Jazakumullah khair, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
You know, it's possible that we're not here right now. This could be all a simulation.
Could be.
It's possible. But how does that help me as a human being?
That is true. That is true.
Okay, these sort of thought experiments and whatnot. So we need
I
to.
like this thought experiment.
I'm with you. No, they're good for the sake of the argument. In terms of like, how would this benefit me as a human being? Okay, in terms of if you have a quest, which you see me do, for finding the truth. Mm-hmm. If there is an ultimate truth to this life, then a person needs to have that open mentality that I will accept it from wherever it comes from, irrespective of my own particular biases or whatnot. But thank you for stopping, and thank you for, I know it's cold today. You guys have stopped and take it.
Another interesting thing that it's more on the interesting side that I didn't know before.
You were saying, sorry.
I didn't know that for the Bible, Jesus was for them was the Son of God.
Correct.
And this and that, and they worship Jesus, or at least some people in the Christianity worship Jesus. In the Quran, Jesus is mentioned as is mentioned in the Bible. I think I'm asking, are they described in the kind of the same way?
Yeah. So in the Quran,
he's a prophet though.
Exactly.
Like
Abraham and Moses and Jesus and many other messengers before them. They were men of God. They came with a message for their people. They came with the same message. When Jesus was asked, what is the greatest commandment? He said, "Hear, O Israel, your Lord, thy Lord is one." Okay, this was the greatest commandment.
Also because, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesus back in the day, he was speaking Aramaic.
Correct.
And the word for God in Aramaic is
Allah. Yeah.
That's
but more important, if you go to the actual, he lived his life as a worshipper of God, as a human being. In fact, he never said he was God on earth. He never asked people to worship him. He always said the only true God is the Father. Okay, so in Islam we view him as a mighty messenger of God. A Muslim is not a Muslim who rejects Jesus Christ. It's a pillar of our faith to accept all the messages of God. But we only from Adam to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But we only worship the creator of all of these prophets.
The prophets are not worshipped. They bring the word of God. Correct. But you worship God. You don't worship
any other person or thing.
You don't worship like figures, like
exactly.
Okay.
You'll never find if you go into a mosque, you won't find any idols, any pictures or anything like that. Even of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, there is no pictures or idols or anything like this. We don't worship the Prophet Muhammad. He is a guide for us. He brought the revelation to us and showed us how to live this life. So we only worship one true God, and that's our means of salvation.
I would ask questions all day.
No, I don't mind.
I'm very curious.
I'm conscious of you guys and the weather, but we don't mind. We're here anyway.
She's Swedish, so she can handle the.
Oh, okay, fine. You've got the sauna built in at home.
Why Muhammad was the last prophet?
So, a simple answer.
Because we would need a prophet now. English version. During these days.
I'm with you. Yeah. So look, the simple answer is because God ordained this. Okay. In the revelation which we have from the Prophet Muhammad.
Do you mind if I?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. I thought they gave one already. Would you like one?
I just put it.
You can share it. Yeah. So the Quran says that the Prophet Muhammad is the final messenger. Okay. So his revelation and his message must stand the test of time. The previous scriptures, the previous messages that came with Moses and Moses and Jesus, etc. That they were. Why was one messenger sent after the other? When their followers began to deviate from that message. When they began to worship the golden calf, messengers were sent to bring them back to worship the Creator, the children of Israel, to begin with.
But even now, there are a lot of people that are.
Of course, no doubt. But the revelation has been preserved. The guidance is here, which you're holding in your hands. The Bible.
So this is complete.
This is complete.
We don't need new things.
And why is it been preserved? Number one, because within it, God says that He makes a promise that He will preserve this particular scripture. Okay. And two, the method of preservation. It's the only book on the planet that, in its original language, Arabic, is memorized by millions of Muslims at any one given time. Okay, so some people give the analogy of the blockchain that we have now with crypto. Okay, it's the same principle that you have millions of people who know how this message should be read cover to cover.
When they recite a passage, they will all say the same kind
exactly the same, identical.
With the Bible, doesn't happen because they have a lot of different translations.
With the Bible, unfortunately, with the New Testament, for example, we have no Aramaic Bible. So from its inception, we have nothing in the language of the person who is revealed to. There's no Aramaic New Testament. It's in Greek, so it's already a translation. Okay, so we lost something there. But the Quran is being preserved, and then on top of that, if you were to burn all of the religious scriptures on the planet, the Quran is the only book we can reproduce
Because it's recited quite
because we memorized it. It's a form of preservation, and that's important because if we haven't preserved it, tomorrow in science we find something which contradicts the Quran. If it's not preserved and we can modify things within the Quran, then it has no validity.
Yeah,
so you're changing it constantly.
Yeah, if it's coming from God, it should be one way.
Exactly.
That's it.
And all of the scientific facts that are mentioned in the Quran, and there are many that are mentioned in the Quran.
I know that. I know there are a few numerology and
embryology, many other things. Okay.
Yeah.
None of them have been disproven by modern day science discoveries. In fact, some of them were stated before we had the means to verify these science. For example, embryology. Microscope was about 150 years ago. We developed a microscope to see the embryological development of the embryo within the womb. Okay, the different stages. The Quran mentions it in precise details.
The stages of the embryo.
Development of the embryo, and this is over 1,000 years ago. But look, I don't necessarily believe the Quran is whatever just because of these things. But there are many other factors, predictions of the future, preservation, and many other things like this, that when you stack these evidences one top of the other, and then you say the person who it was revealed to couldn't read or write, he was unlettered, then it begs the question, who is the author? And for us that is quite clear that it can only be from the Creator, because he can only know all these things and there'd be no contradictions, no mistakes, and it's revealed over a 13-year period.
Last question to understand a bit better. From Adam onwards, so God was allowing them to recite the Quran and write it down, or not?
From Adam, no.
From Adam, or who?
So this is from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Okay.
Okay. Before this was the Gospel of Jesus. Okay. You have the Bible, which is today, which is a collection of books, biblios from the Greek. Okay. Collection of books. What the Quran refers to as the Bible or the Injil in the Quran, it would be more correctly translated to the Gospel of Jesus.
Gospel of Jesus.
Okay, which we don't really have. There is within the Bible that you open now.
Gospel as what Jesus used to say.
The revelation which he was given, and then you have the Torah, which was given to Moses.
Yeah.
And then the scroll, the Psalms which came to David, and many other scriptures like this. So they were one after the other, but the core message was the same: worship one God. You want salvation in the hereafter. It's not through a human sacrifice or anything like this. It's through worshipping the one who created you and following the guidance and the person who that guidance was given to, if you want salvation in the hereafter.
I'll have some food for thoughts.
Thank you for stopping. Thank you for your patience. Okay. And we're here every Saturday. But if you don't catch us here, you can message us on Instagram.
Okay.
There's our little cards in there.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye.
Take care.